Guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being part of my community. Today we'll be talking about the power of clarity and how it helps us into getting into that space and position where we can fully manifest our destiny. Do join us. Hi guys, I hope you're good and I hope you're well. For those who do not know me, my name is Sandise Siphokazi. I'm a healer and a coach, and this is Sister of Spaces. So today we'll be talking about the power of clarity and how it can assist us in getting into that position and place where we can fully operate and fully manifest and also just experience our destiny. First of all, let's start with what is clarity. Clarity gives us the understanding and the know-how of what it is that needs to be done or what a particular thing is. And when we speak about clarity when it comes to our destiny, our purpose, we are referring to understanding the reason why you were born, understanding what it is that you like and you enjoy doing, also understanding what you are anointed to do. Because so often, while we are gifted in different ways, there are things that we have learned over the years which are skilled, and these are the things that we can do at any given time. But then there is the gifts and the things that we are anointed and have been blessed with when we were born. And so the power of clarity when it comes to our destiny comes in the sense that understanding where you are, number one, understanding where you've been, understanding where you need to go. Understanding where you've been is your past, is the experiences that you went through to get to the place that you are in. Presently, where are you? When you do an exercise of introspection, an exercise of understanding and going deep within your soul, deep within your spirit and your mind to find out and discover what are your thought patterns currently, what are your ideas about certain things, and what is your understanding about yourself. And while you are getting all of that knowledge, you then get to a place where you now understand, and you can perhaps make a link from the things that you previously experienced or your past and how they have affected or created the life that you're currently experiencing. And so while you have these two sources of information, you are then able to plan out your future. You are then able to understand what is it that I can use from my current experience into my next or my future experience. But also, let me just note and share that when it comes to clarity gives us the room for us to actually go forth in the direction in which we are called to go in. And also clarity then eliminates a whole lot of other things that we could be wanting to get into, we could be wanting to, give our energy to, because sometimes we find ourselves chasing and doing certain things all in the hope of trying to, make a life. And as I've previously mentioned, when it comes to not knowing your purpose, is that you end up focusing and giving your energy to things that are not necessarily aligned or what you are supposed to be doing. And so what clarity does, it then creates a pool of options for you which you can take, which you need to understand about yourself, so that when you move forward from the position that you're currently at, you are now taking steps that are ordered, you are now taking steps that are aligned to where you need to be going. And so clarity then affords each and every one of us the opportunity to actually no longer waste time, no longer invest in things that will not build us, no longer create spaces and find ourselves in environment and spaces where we will feel some kind of depletion. Because at some point, when you are on this journey of discovery, on this journey of wanting to know what it is that you need to be doing, you may get to that point where there are things that you don't understand. And so when you go inward and you take that time to actually understand and get clarity on who you are and why you exist, these then help you in getting into that position which God has set for you. And so I remember when I started my journey, people will tell you that when you are called, there is a blanket approach to how you should be practicing or how you should be serving humankind with your gift. And so while this blanket approach is something that a whole lot of us fall into, it is in the clarity phase where I got to understand what it is that I need to be doing, what it is that I need to focus on. And sometimes these instances are take place when you perhaps connect with someone who is educated or gifted in helping and assisting people move from a place of confusion into this place where they now have an understanding of what it is they need to be doing. And so when I then got into that space, and what it required me to do was to shut the noise, number one. Number two, it also required me to connect with someone who could tap into my soul mission, my frequency, to help me adjust and understand what it is that I'm meant to be doing. And so I connected with a coach. Well, I was connected with a coach because, Spirit, God, and sisters, our guides, always have a way in bringing the things that we need when we need them. And so I then connected with a coach, and I was part of a 4-month program, which then took me through a journey of understanding and discovering my soul mission. And from that, it was able to uncover a whole lot of my gifts, and it gave me an opportunity to actually understand why I liked or enjoyed doing certain things, why I was drawn to certain experiences. And it just also helped me heal some of the blockages that I had, or some of the beliefs that I had about myself, about my journey, and where I needed to be. And so the importance of finding someone, whether it's a coach, whether it's a healer, whether it's a therapist, or whatever it is that you are connected to, when you find that person, even in the Christian community, when you find a mentor, whether it is a pastor or a prophetess or a prayer warrior, someone who is already operating in that environment that you are being called to, and this person will then guide, will then give you room to stretch yourself, give you room to expand and to understand what it is that you are truly called to do within this environment. Because in as much as I say that I'm a prayer warrior, but what am I truly gifted in, or what is my power tool within the prayer warrior environment? And so understanding that I can pray for people who are seeking, let's say, for children, or who are seeking understanding and clarity of their visions, or I'm able to pray people into alignment. There's different sectors, and some will say one can pray for marriages, one can pray for destinies, for jobs. So we are all gifted in different ways. And so what a coach does, or someone who plays a role of a mentor, becomes someone who poses questions to you, poses ideologies to you, which you will then break down so that you can bring out something within you. And so that process of clarity, while it can be done by yourself, asking yourself the relevant questions you can find on the internet, questions which you can find from a coach, or whether a therapist or counselor or psychologist that you are working with, those questions will allow you to go deep within to understand some of the things that you currently are experiencing, and some of the thought patterns and some of the belief systems that you currently hold to be true for you in this very moment that you're watching this video. And so that process then gave me room to explore and understand what it was I was truly called to do. And in that 4 months, I got to expand, I got to heal so much of the things that were at the back of my mind subconsciously. We always believe that, no, we've moved on from that, we've passed that, so I don't need to be focusing on that. But we don't realize that when things happen on the physical plane, they actually affect us spiritually, they affect us subconsciously, and that is where a lot of our pain, a lot of our memories are stored. And so those memories are not always good memories. And it is also the reason why some of us may actually be experiencing memory loss, because memory loss is experienced mostly by people who experience some kind of trauma, whether it was physical, emotional, or spiritual trauma. And now that trauma now then creates this belief that, or it creates rather this experience of being forgetful, or just having this memory loss. And so with that, I got to understand some of the things, how they were playing out in my life, how I now needed to focus on this gift, or these particular gifts, because it was what was destined for me. And by doing that exercise, or by going through that 4 months period, that program that I went through, I got to understand, and I got to tap into and open up a part of my soul which was ready to heal, which was ready to go forth and experience and do the things that God had already ordained for my life. And so the process of clarity is so important, because without clarity we truly cannot go forth into the things that we truly desire. It is in the same way where if you get an idea that you want to serve food, or you want to have a catering company, what does your catering company offer? What are the things that will differentiate you from the next caterer? Apart from the differentiation, but what are you bringing into this environment, or into the sector of catering, of food serving? And so when you then write your plan that you are opening this catering company, this is the food that you are going to serve, but the clarity and the details comes into how, where, why, what, and also the experience that you want to create as a catering company for your clients. And so bringing it back into purpose and destiny, it is very important as you go forth and as you plan and as you understand and go deep within the things that excite you. It's very important for you to actually get into that place, into that space where you say, these are the questions I need to ask about myself. And once I answer these questions about myself, I am then able to move into the next step, which would be to understand how these affect my destiny, how these can affect my purpose, and how also these can contribute to where I need to go. And so the power of clarity in anything that you do when it comes to your purpose, it's also important because you get to, whether it is through meditation, through fasting, through praying, or through connecting with your guides or your ancestors, or through just being still and listening to God's voice and asking the Holy Spirit to reveal to you certain things about yourself, whatever process or however you go about that that process of clarity, it will bring out in you more peace, more joy, and it will take away a lot of the pressure that we tend to put on ourselves. Because what I got to experience after the process of clarity, I got to understand that I was no longer required to pressure myself into fitting into a certain box, or perhaps into showing up a certain way, or perhaps just, doing certain things in the way in which others have been doing. I got to understand, and I got to get comfortable in the space, in the seat, in the position that God had already purposed for me. And while I am in this position, I am able to speak in the way that I'm speaking freely. There was a time, and I'll tell you, when I started my live videos, whether it was on Facebook or on Instagram, or I was just pre-recording my material, I used to get so nervous, like I would stutter, it was a mess. And so when I then went through that process of clarity and understanding that no, I need not fear, but I actually need to embrace this nervousness, because at any time when you're about to speak into someone's life, whether you've been doing it for many years, it is always something new, because it is a revelation that you would have received at that point in time, as the Holy Spirit or your guides or your ancestors or your angels have given you at that time to share and speak into other people's lives. So the nervousness, because your flesh does not necessarily know how the message will go, but knowing that your spirit and trusting your spirit to lead you, it is in that you then are able to deliver, and you're able to speak from a place of peace and calmness. And so now that is where I am, and it is a beautiful space, and I'm so grateful. So when it comes to the power of clarity, it truly is something that a lot of us should be doing. It's a space in which you get to discover yourself, discover who you are. It's a space where you can be vulnerable, because you are allowing yourself to be naked, to be bare, and you are allowing yourself to go to your deepest parts, so that you can understand what it is that you're meant to be doing. And also what clarity does, especially when it comes to your destiny, it also allows other people to actually invest in you or to support you, because sometimes you don't receive the support that we are requiring or we are desiring, because we are also not clear on what it is that we need to be doing. It's in the same way where if we go into the energy terminology that you are wanting to manifest this 20,000 rand. However, what are you manifesting it for? Why are you wanting that 20,000 rand? So once you are clear on why you want it, Don't worry about the how, because somewhere, somehow, the energy will always come and meet you where you are at and bring that manifestation to pass. While also even bringing that manifestation to pass, there will be certain scenarios and incidences that will happen, that, or rather events that will happen, so that you actually get that 20K. And so yes, this is the end of today's The Power of Clarity. If you perhaps are there and you're needing a coach, do send me a private message. I will definitely share some tools. Or you can just, if you're looking for a coach who will help you in understanding what you are called for, do email me on molweni@coach-siphokazi.co.za, but I will share it in the description box. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time. Bye.